really don't have a bad weapon, it's just not good. Yeah, I really don't need any better weapons. And also, let's try to make this a speed run. So like we don't take 3 years. Oh, grab your sword back. If you pick one of those up, it's not a starter run. Or it is still, but if you keep using it, then it's not. Blue Knight is also one of the best characters in the game. Blue Knight, the one I'm playing as right now. Yeah, his magic is just kind of book. Never say that again. No. You know, Sebastian, you know what would really be good for this run? The alien. Wanna know why? The alien literally cannot switch his sword. Because that's his source of magic. So. Yeah. It's also the only sword he can have. Little did you know? Okay, good. His hitbox is up here. Never mind. Get him off me! I'm lagging! Every time you tab out, I start lagging. I don't know why. Yeah, you say I tabbed out, and then I start lagging. Because that's what you're supposed to do for this fight. Oh. Bro, the swords are getting a revamp with the update too. It's gonna be sick. Yeah, they're gonna have more detail. The mace, bro. The necromancer? Oh, you wanna know how to get him? It's like the hardest thing in the world. You have to beat the industrial castle on Insane World. So you have to have like a max level player who has industrialist and just carries you through the level. Or you cannot get him. Which is why I'm getting industrialist and max leveling him. Because the saws just shred. That's literally the only reason. The Necromancer's magic isn't even actually that good. Not good. I have it on my Nintendo Switch and it just kind of sucks. Yeah, he just looks sick. Well, because so in the fight, he literally resurrects people. But then that's not even his magic. It's just his skeleton hands coming out of the ground. It's kind of stupid. Like, oh, this guy literally resurrects people and makes it so they cannot die. But his magic is just skeleton hands coming out of the ground. Yeah, you guys are gonna enjoy that. That's what they said, basically. That's basically just what they said. But Sebastian, you know what we do have to do, though? also want to unlock every character in the game just to see what they all look like with the fresh graphics. Without like looking at a YouTube video. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. I'm getting, whoa. No, I'm not. Yeah! Oh, so shouldn't you be the princess? Whoa. It's just stupid how I can't have Discord anymore because then now the chat can't hear you well. Oh. Yeah, but I'm also weird, so what do you mean? How are you higher health than me? Oh wait, it's because I'm charging at him. I need this guy to drop fruit. Oh! Yep. I'm gonna jump on him. Drop fruit. Drop fruit or you're dead. Oh. I think they all drop fruit. That's kind of stupid. Yeah, they all drop fruit. Unless one of those guys drops. And I lag again! Yeah, I think it's just whenever you tap out, I lag. Come over here. Oh. Please, 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 please! No! The fruit! Bruh. I want the new magic. But the new magic isn't even actually that good. But it also increases my other range. I'm gonna do that and defense. If you die, it's not my fault. I do more damage is all. I do more damage. Or wait, do I? Did I put it in strength or defense? Oh, then never mind. I don't. But still, I'm more... That's my new magic. Wait, does it increase my old one? Oh yeah, it's 2 icicles now. Ah! Oh, let you cook? Well, is your definition of cooking getting slammed into the ground? For sure, yeah. Yeah, for sure. This guy is actually still easy on insane mode. He's just that.
Players. Also, the king is a non-elemental character, which means his elemental infusion does 4 times base damage. Alright, now that I've been talking about the king for a little bit, it's time for me to say my overall opinion. I think the king is one of the most interesting characters in the game. The main reason for that is that he can heal himself, and he is the only character in Castle Crashers that can do that. The only problem with his healing ability is that it heals so slowly that it's not even that useful, and his light magic is also not very great. So
why does my head look like a blue Jolly Rancher?
You can unlock this character by beating the game with the president.
It looks like a blue Jolly Rancher.
You don't unlock anyone else. This character's starting weapon is the pitchfork, which gives the player +1 strength and -1 agility. Alright, let's talk about this character's magic. His light magic throws knives that knock over enemies, and the heavy magic throws arrows from the sky. And since the civilian is a non-elemental character, his elemental infusion does 4 times
yeah,
base
you have to
damage.
do that for
Okay, now
every
that I've been
single
talking about this
princess.
character for a little bit, it's time for me to give my overall opinion on the civilian. To be honest, he is just nothing special. His magic is definitely not the best, and he's really just a reskinned version of the peasant without the chicken.
Please, let me go
Since
back.
the
Let me go
civilian's
back and
magic
get him.
holds him back a lot, I'm gonna have to give him a 3.5 out of 10, just because he looks worse than the peasant.
It
The
knocked
necromancer
me
can
off
be
and put
unlocked
you on
after
it.
defeating the industrial castle in insane mode. And if you're not playing the
Ow!
remastered Castle Crashers,
He
then
threw
he will
me
be a
off the
DLC
raptor and
character.
you on the raptor.
And also, the necromancer doesn't unlock anyone on both versions.
Bro, what is going on?
Starting weapon is the evil sword, which gives the player
You know what? I'm
+2
gonna freeze him.
magic and +7.
Freeze it! I said
His
yeah.
light magic is a skeleton that runs into enemies and explodes, and his heavy
dead now.
magic is skeleton hands that come up from
Now can you see
Also,
why
the
he's one of the best
necromancer is
characters in the game?
non-elemental character, so his elemental
The Blue
infusions
Knight.
are reduced. And yes, I know I don't have it unlocked with the necromancer,
Yeah,
but if you
his
search it up
stun
on the
is
Castle
just-
Crasher wiki, it tells you that he's a non-elemental character. Alright, now that I've given the necromancer a quick
Oh,
overview,
no, the
it's
guys
time
we're
to give
supposed
my
to kill.
overall opinion. I think the necromancer is a pretty solid character, even though his magic is really cool.
And I started lagging.
In the game, as his skeleton is really easy to dodge.
I don't
His heavy
even know
magic
how
is
that's
pretty
possible.
decent, though, as it can hit enemies quite a few times. But other than that and the good starting weapon,
I know,
it's
it's
nothing
stupid.
special. I'm just gonna give him a 7 out of 10. You can unlock this character by beating the peasant arena, and after you complete the game with him,
To be
you
honest,
unlock
I
the
think
civilian.
I'm just gonna
The
make
peasant's
one of
starting
my
weapon is the wooden spoon, which gives the player
attacks
that
an
uses
arrow
it
key
+2 agility
just
and
so I
takes
don't
away 1
move my
magic.
mouse.
The
Hold on.
peasant's light magic throws a knife at enemies, knocking them over, and
You
his
should
heavy
do the
magic
same.
rains arrows from the sky. I know, pretty original. And since this is a non-elemental character, his elemental infusion attack does
My
4
block-
times base damage. Okay, I've talked about the peasant enough. It's time for me to give my
My block
overall
will be
opinion
left
on
arrow.
it. To be honest, the peasant
heavy
is a
attack?
very basic character. His magic is one of the most common types in the game, and fighting enemies with it is pretty painful. So I'm gonna have to give the peasant a 4 out of 10. He can be unlocked after beating the game with the fire unit. And also the ninja doesn't unlock anyone after you complete the game with him. This character's starting weapon is the ninja sai, which gives the player +6 agility, -2 defense, and has a 2% crit chance.
Hey, they're coming for you.
Ninja's light magic throws a shuriken at enemies that does average damage. And his heavy magic is a smoke cloud that hits enemies multiple times and also does pretty average damage.
They're gonna die.
But anyways, the ninja is a non-elemental character, which means his elemental infusion attack does 4 times base damage, like literally almost every enemy. Alright, now that I've been talking about the ninja for a bit, it's time for my overall opinion. I think the ninja is actually a pretty disappointing
Bro,
character, as he has
I
this
can't
really
carry
cool
one of those
lost
mountains.
teleport attack, and the level you find
Spamming
him.
their
But after you
arrows.
unlock him, he just doesn't have that attack. Instead, he has like this steam cloud magic, which is alright I guess, but it's nothing special. Anyways, since he has pretty
Oh!
good magic, I'm gonna give him a 6.5 out of 10. And yeah, that is every single character in Castle Crashers reviewed in 1 minute. And I know the reviews aren't exactly a minute, because I did have to trim a little bit off, because I didn't want to play the same intro every single time. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.
Today I decided to speedrun Castle Crashers with my friends Chris, Purple Hair Guy, and Brian, which was much harder than I thought it'd be. Now the speedrun starts with all of us dancing cause we the boys, but then a guy gets knocked into the room, dies, and we gotta go check out what caused it. And it turns out some wizard is trying to steal the king's gem, so we gotta get our revenge. Here's when we get into the main gameplay loop of fighting enemies and trying to juggle them. To do this, we jump into the air and do a mixture of light and heavy attacks to keep them from touching the ground. It takes a bit to get used to, but it's a very reliable way to defeat most enemies while not getting damaged. But after those guys, we see that the 4 princesses are getting taken away. So that's our mission, save them all. Especially Purple Hair Girl. I really feel bad for her. But this is a good spot to explain something else about the enemies. Basically, the more people you have in Castle Crashers,
What
the
do you
harder
have
the
your
enemies
heavy
are to
attack
kill.
as?
So it's actually slower to play with 4 people,
You have
but who
your
wants to
heavy
play
attack
Castle
as?
Crashers alone? Also, because this is a less popular category, we could very possibly steal world record away, so that was our goal.
Up arrow.
Anyways, we did some more juggling, defeated all the enemies, and exited to the overworld. Here we want to stop by the blacksmith to take this compass, which we can use later. After that, we have some general weak enemies to defeat, because this game isn't too hard just yet. Don't worry though, that will change very soon. Oh, and another thing I should mention is the enemies drop health and money pretty often. We decided to take
Don't
all
open the
money
chest,
equally,
'cause it's a new
except for
sword.
Brian. We want to buy a better weapon later in the game,
And we
there's
don't
only
want
enough
the
money
new
for 3 of us,
swords.
so sorry, Brian. Anyways, after a bit of fighting, we make
Wait,
the first mini
I
boss
need
of
to
the
make
game.
my
Alright, first little boy.
magic because it used to be right on his butt.
Just keep spamming strong attack. He's not even on the screen.
What?
Where is he going? Easiest little boss in our lives.
Probably.
Now we're back to moving for a while, taking everyone out again, including these sleeping guys, which is kind of the rudest thing I've ever done. Imagine waking up to 4 idiots killing you. Anyways, we make it to the main boss of the level, but we actually want to quit out before we fight him. This way we can both heal ourselves before the fight and use the upgrades we got from leveling up. For the most part, we want to focus on upgrading strength with a little bit of defense every once in a while. But now it's time to fight the boss for real and save our first
No,
princess.
no.
Okay, so this guy
No,
is
no, no,
very
no, no,
annoying.
no, 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 no,
So
no, no.
everybody just try to stay focused.
We swapped weapons.
No, I want to get hit by
Grab the
shit.
weapon,
Tell
grab
me
the
what to
weapon.
do.
Did he just point at us and laugh?
Yeah, to be fair, we are kind of pathetic compared
Seb.
Brian, help me!
to Purple Hair Guy. We
Wait,
need
are you
your help.
guys dead? Well, I didn't think you'd die on the first boss.
Okay, you don't really have to say it like that.
He's about to die.
Well, why are you all the way over there?
There, we've done it. I'm coming, buddy.
Yeah, that was a fight.
And our reward for that amazing
Yeah, but we
gameplay is
still have
tons
to
of
go
money,
back to our
excluding bread.
ones.
Then after collecting it, Chris gets to murder us all so he can kiss the first princess. Next, we're heading over to the forest, and on the way, we hear one of my favorite songs of the game. We also get to see Chris's dinosaur, which he calls...
My pelican.
Yeah, my brother's a weird guy. But it's back to fighting until we actually
yeah,
make it
we
into
can
the
just
forest.
swap them there.
And if you've ever played Castle Crashers, you know they love their food jokes, so I'm just gonna let those play out rapid fire.
Get out of here, Chris. This is private. Nice. You guys like hot chocolate?
Why did you say that? Oh no.
I wonder how he's doing.
Just don't step in the water.
Oh no.
Why did
That's
they
what
add
that
in? What
does.
does that add to the game?
I'm sure you noticed that this is Purple Hair Guy's favorite part. Anyways, after making it far enough, it's time for another mini-boss.
He's dead! He's dead!
Boss and more of a creature that's running away in terror as we murder it. But that's what it gets for looking at us funny. And after the fight, all the animals in the forest start running towards us, and it's time for the deer auto-scroller. In this part of the game, we all ride a deer and need to escape from whatever nightmare fuel this guy is. But it's not too hard of a part to stay alive, and if anyone needs to heal, they can just die in this section to be full health in the next. And being in full
Let
health
them
is a
come
very
to
good
you.
idea for this next section, since we're in
that.
a river. Water's not a fun
Let
place
them
to
come
fight,
to
since
you and
can
line it
only
up.
attack when you jump in the air, or if you're riding on some wood, animals, or a corpse. The important part here is to survive while taking out the green fish guys as fast as possible.
Okay,
Then
grab
eventually we
yours.
reach the last one, where we can quit out to get some upgrades and heal up again. Then once we pop back in, it's time for the next boss.
Alright, everyone attack the guy!
Break the fur ball and keep him
Yeah,
in
alright,
place.
someone's gotta break the curve. Do not move, Chris, stay in the middle, stay in the middle. Nice, we got him. Get him with all your might!
You can like group his punches to get a few hits in between.
Well, that seems like a lot of work. You're forgetting about that. Sorry, keep him in the middle. Get ready for a furball.
Alright, keep him in the middle.
Oh, nice, I dodged it.
Alright, murder!
Brian, how do you die?
That was the fastest path that we have ever done.
So we've now made it back to the land, and here's where I'd say the game actually starts getting hard. We have to
No,
face
come
off
here.
against
You
the bad
co-
guys, and since
No!
we barely upgraded our defense, every single one of their hits does a ton of damage. This especially gets bad when you do this fair, you can use tornado attack. So we try to prevent them from doing that as much as possible by getting him in a stun lock. Then after defeating him, we move on only to get destroyed by the big bears. Now you can probably see why this speedrun is so hard. But thankfully, we can just do other instead of restarting the level, so the mistake wasn't fatal. And from here, we'll keep
Alright,
advancing
basically
until we reach a
max
cave,
health.
which has some of the most annoying enemies in the game. These slimes are just awful. You can't juggle them, and they get flung
Grab
all
the
over the
fruit.
place with our attacks, so it just takes a while
Grab
to
the
get past
fruit!
part. But after a while, we get to fight our next boss.
No, you're
the Cooking
not.
Bat. Now this boss is a
You've
lot
got,
easier
like, an
when you
inch
know how to
left.
fight him, but it's still a scary part of the game. The bat has a licking attack which will almost always one-shot us at our current level, so we need to shield the lick attack and hope we don't get destroyed.
Licking blood. Oh, I'm dead. Brian, heal me. Thank you.
Sebastian, did you know you were at least
kill
gonna
a
be
football
level
guy.
I'm dead.
1 to fight the first
I
boss?
got you.
I mean, to play the
Don't
first
left
level.
behind.
Thankfully, we got
Shocking,
it done, and the
right?
king finally decides to join up with us along with some candidates. Here we have to murder a bunch of demons, which feels kind of bad since these are awesome, but when we gotta go more the casualties.
You
Sasuke
get
heads
XP
up
by
from
hitting
Sentai.
bosses. You
So
just
we
need to
make
get
it through the
good.
flower field,
Not
turn
bosses,
ourselves up
specifically
to the
enemies.
castle, and start fighting some knights. This part is great since it's completely 2D and allows for some
I have
great
stayed in the air
struggles
basically
game.
this
The
whole
only
boss
problem is the knights have a huge amount of health,
As I
so
say that, I
sometimes we
fall.
end our juggles before they die because we gotta eyeball how much health they have. And after that, it's
what?
time to crash a wedding. Here we jump right into their wedding cake and murder them. Again, but our main focus is on the groom. In this fight, the most optimal way to play it is to constantly keep the boss hit stun so we can't go invulnerable with this piano. This honestly isn't too hard and we've done it multiple times, but I'll just let you watch.
Beat him up.
There it is. Keep going, keep going. Oh,
He does like a spin attack when he comes out, and it will one-shot you like that.
I couldn't even see where the bombs.
Oh, I got zapped. Okay, come on out. The piano playing is awful.
Dang it!
Keep moving.
Now let him get another one.
Alright, finally.
There we go. Good job. Good job. Brian, protect her.
Well, we finally took him down and saved the princess. Obviously, nothing's gonna go wrong at all because there are so many people protecting her, and how did we not prevent that? Well, now it's time for the carriage sequence where we ride on the back of their wedding car while taking out the enemies following them. This is pretty easy as long as we keep doing jump attacks, because the enemies
I'm not
will
sitting
fall
right in
off
front of
after
him,
they
you
get
are.
hit. Then after a while, the cat thing attacks,
What?
and you just jump into him and destroy him incredibly fast. It's actually kind of hilarious how fast this guy dies. But after that, yay, more slimes. I love them so much. At least this is the last time we'll see them. Anyways, we make our way through the level, and then we get put in an active volcano, which isn't dangerous at all, probably. And we'll continue on our way until we reach a hanging out place. Did I call that a hanging out place? Couldn't I just said a room? Whatever. At this point, we absolutely need to keep as much health as possible, since we're about to be at one of the hardest bosses in the game. This means we'll fight the demons fairly safe before making it over to the side boss.
Why is she dancing?
Happy.
Oh God. Brian, you guys love you. Thank you, sir.
Ow.
Ah, take help, Brian. Brian, run.
I got it.
Yep.
Why can we attack?
Well, we can first try and honestly way faster than we ever have before. We also got a ton of money, and I got to kiss my girl. But we aren't done with the volcano
Shark?
just yet.
Run!
That's
Yes!
the hard part. Not only do we now need to deal with the nacho cheese coming out the ground, but every single hit our enemies do is that much more lethal. Something fun this stage introduces though is sandwiches. These can be dropped by enemies and let us take out immovable walls and damage enemies back. They also make us really buff, and it feels good to live out the dream, even if just for a bit. But after a bit of playing, our worries came true. One by one, everyone got killed off until it was only Purple Hair Guy, and finally, he dropped. Yeah, that kinda sucks. Thankfully though, world records were still achievable, and our dreams were not over yet, so we pressed on. Then, once
Thanks
we
for
made it
the
back to
vote.
the same area, we gave you no mercy. This is what they deserve for losing us 2 minutes. Anyways, back to the Emerald Sandals, and here we reached another mini-boss, a tiny volcano. On a bigger volcano? Is that possible? To damage this boss, we need to be in our sandwich form, but we were a bit low on sandwiches, so it took a bit longer than we would have wanted. And then immediately after that, it's time for the real boss of this stage, a dragon and a sock puppet. And here's how that works.
It's really easy if you're using the big.
Why did I just like
I mean,
take
even
1,000
then,
bits of damage?
Oh my god, I died!
Oh man, I'm really dead.
Wait, I'll res.
Don't even try to get me. Like I'm deep in the thick of it.
Bro, he just jumps on us.
It's so hard, he fires you all the time.
Oh God.
Get out. Get out.
Time. Somebody res Brian. So he opens his hand and then he
Get
gets ready
out.
for a breath attack. And you just back
Go,
up.
go, go! I got you, man. He's done.
Yes, let's go.
Now get the sock puppet! No!
Good job, fellas.
Yeah, we really do play way dumber than we should, but at the very least, we now have the golden steering wheel and could move on from the volcano to an even harder place. But before that, we're gonna stop by the volcano shop and get our new weapon. This weapon ups your strength and is very useful for a pretty much all strength build. Obviously, Chris and I will have to wait a tiny bit longer to use it since you need to be level 10, but Purple Hair Guy is our carry, so he can use it now. Oh, we can also get a couple of health potions for insurance before being on our way. And since we no longer need to worry about money, this is going to be more common for the rest of the run. And now it's time for the harder place. We head over to the industrial castle and immediately use a sandwich to take down the wall. We're then surrounded by a bunch of enemies who we basically need to juggle.
They just keep tanking at me, bro.
They also have really annoying attacks like the bombs, so it's just not a fun place. Once they're down, it's time to go through a couple traps like these plasma balls, these smashy things. We don't need to talk about how bad I was here, and some zappy boys before going up an elevator while fighting some more guys. And before we make it to the next boss, there's gonna be a single really powerful big guy. The way to beat this dude is by always moving and saving your teammates when you grab them. We've lost more than our fair share of runs on this part though, so we had it done pretty well. And finally, it's time for the boss. In this fight, we need to focus on the center pole thingies, a gun, and a big hand. The hand is really the only important part though, not because it's harder to defeat, but because it takes so long for no reason. Yeah, this boss fight is probably one of my least favorites, but we beat it, and the king runs away with Purple Hair Girl, only to get her stolen by the wizard. And since this is Purple Hair Guy's soulmate, he got to decide what to do with the king.
Nobody touch him. He's mine.
Alright, he's all yours.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy, but this fight did give us some progress since now we have the golden telescope, and this is the last thing we need to cross the ocean. So Chris and I got our upgraded weapons since we got to level 10 before heading off to sea. And now this pirate section is just there. It's pretty much an auto-scroller where there's a bunch of ninjas trying to murder us, but they also suck at their jobs. It'd be like that. Now after the ocean, we make it to the desert, probably one of the scariest parts of the run, though it does start out easy. There's some insects that pop out of quicksand, and they aren't really a challenge, along with some scorpions that we don't even need to fight, and they get one shot if we do. But after moving for a while, we find our first beetle. This dude buries himself in the ground and attacks for a while we just need to wait it out. The only time we can attack him back is when he jumps back up, and then after a bit of beating him up, he'll get the white flag. Seems like a simple enough fight, but then only a bit later, we need to fight him again. This time there's like 6. No longer can we shield and protect ourselves super easily because they're coming from all angles. The most consistent way to defeat these guys is going to the corner of the screen and hoping they won't go behind you. So a bit more annoying, but not that bad to win against. Where it really gets hard is this area, where the game bombards us with both beetles and some warriors, which is one of the scariest combinations in the game. This is because while the beetles do their normal annoying stuff, the warriors can throw bombs or use arrows, which I'm pretty sure are unblockable. I don't know, it's really bad either way. We usually get at least one loss here, but somehow we survived the full thing, which felt really good. And now we get a boss fight. Yeah, the spaceship has a health bar, but it barely does any damage and takes damage really quickly, so I don't even know if you can call this a mini boss. Then we fight a second one with the exact same results before the big spaceship comes by and abducts us all. Once we make it onto the ship, here's where things get a little bit sad. After walking a bit, aliens will swarm us from each side and try to kill us. But the thing is, a single hit of damage kills them. Yeah, these guys get one shot over and over and over again. I kind of feel bad doing this to them, but whatever. After that, we break some lasers and see Dwayne the Bug Johnson, joke made by Chris, and he decides to activate the ship's self-destruct sequence, I guess. So we have 1 minute to leave.
Alright, I'm not getting left behind this time.
Hey, that's not a choice you can make.
Dibs on me not getting left behind. I vote we leave Ben behind.
Yeah, only the people who deserve to be left behind get left behind.
Alright, Purple Hair, keep behind. Alright, guys, everyone focus on. Alright, straight through this. It's meant to be a
This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
See you, Ben.
Wait, you guys are throwing.
Ben, come on. Alright, Ben's getting left behind. Brian, go to the furthest one. Hurry. Oh, I made it. Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't my finest hour, but now we're off the ship and we get to steal some camels. The camels have the ability to spit on command, and it does a single hit of damage, so that's pretty funny. And we keep going on our way until we reach the next building. Here's where we need to fight 2 weaklings before the big brothers come out and we have an actual challenge. Like any other big guys, we want to constantly be moving and just hope we don't randomly get thrown and die. But with 4 people, it's not too bad. Now we're finally coming up to the last bit of this level. There's only a few more hordes of enemies, each with those really annoying arrow abilities, but we've practiced way too much of this game to die here. And after we made it far enough, it's time for a game of volleyball. Yeah, so volleyball is pretty messed up in this game because there aren't as many rules as normal volleyball. For example, we can try to murder our opponents, and as long as our feet don't cross the line, it's fine. So we just kept the pressure on them constantly while they try to play fair, and finally got our 10 points to win. For some reason, this caused the random guy to come up and give us a map, so that's cool, I guess, and we went back to the overworld. Because now this map opens up a new area, and we're getting closer to the final boss. But before that, we need to pick up a special horn to open another entrance, so we head over to the marsh. I actually really enjoy the marsh because we surprisingly have some people on our side helping us, which I feel doesn't happen enough. Sure, some may die, but that seems like a them problem. Now the enemies for this area are mostly just a bunch of skeletons and these warriors in very stylish green clothes. It's some pretty normal fighting though, and the only eventful things that happened were that both Chris and Brian met their untimely demises. Sure, we could have cured them, but that's also a lot of work, so we left them both to die alone. But it's fine, because as soon as we made it to the next area, they were revived and now had full health, which is especially good because now it's time for the core boss.
The most annoying boss in the world because he just keeps being a jerk.
I actually hate this boss. It's so bad.
We have the 2 farmers who are doing nothing in the corner.
Make him hit the farmers.
He's gonna die
Farmers,
just
help us,
smashing into it.
please.
Look at their dead stares. They're just thinking that we
Yeah,
are.
I told you! I told you!
look, what's
He's
gonna
gonna come up.
Yeah, he got hit. So they actually want to help.
They have to get hit to want to help.
Yeah, this boss fight is so fast with 1 player. For 4 players.
The other guy's just thinking about how to improve this farmer only gaining profile.
Guys, that's free advertisement. We didn't do that.
Oh, sorry. Is farmers only even a thing anymore?
I think it's a thing. I go on every day.
Brian, don't you have a girlfriend?
Yeah, I go just to see what people are saying.
Well, he doesn't want to be lonely, so he's going to farmersonly.com.
Yeah, stay split up a little bit so we don't just all die at the
Brian,
same
Brian.
time. I'm dead.
Oh God, Brian, heal!
Brian, you're the last one.
Run, get that
Yippee.
popcorn. Get the popcorn.
Brian, what are you doing? Please.
God dang it. No.
I got him.
Come on, guy, run.
Oh, good. That's
Oh,
what I
my
wanted him
goodness.
to do.
Brian, why
Ryan,
now
no.
you do?
I literally saved him, and I'm getting paid.
You do not know pain until you play this
Oh
boss.
gosh.
All right, don't die, guys.
Brian,
Oh my
okay.
God! I just-
Brian,
Get him!
Brian, I literally rest.
He's off screen.
Oh no.
Can you stop?
Guys, we have to get him. We have to get him.
Die!
Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah, we've really been enjoying these close calls, haven't we? But after the corn guy, we got the horn we came here for and got to use it to enter the Flood Temple. In this temple, there's a bunch of water everywhere, which makes this water flow. Well, all of us except for the purple hair guys, here's the Seahorse Companion. Yeah, that's some Castle Crashers mechanics you probably didn't know about. Anyways, it's another basic level of not too much significance until we fight Medusa. Medusa isn't really hard at all though, but she's annoying to fight since you can only really hit her if you're directly in front of her or behind her. That's all I really have to say about this fight. We murdered another innocent creature, and we're back on our way, because this opens up our next path, which is going to lead us to the Ice King and the Princess he stole. This is a really annoying path though for a few reasons. The first is we need to climb up a hill while fighting really strong enemies and dodging giant boulders. Not the most comfortable time. We even stocked up on tons of potions before this, but they very quickly got whittled down, which wasn't too reassuring. Then once we make it up the hill and beat the stupid boulder thrower, we make it over to the ladder. In this area, tons of enemies come at us at the same time. The best way to defeat these guys is to group them all up in the same spot using the ladder. And this one usually works out great. Usually. Yep. One by one we died, and eventually this resulted in the second loss of our speedrun. This one really hurt. Still though, the world record was possible, but at this point, it was going to be close. We needed to go fast. So we went right back to the ladder area, and yeah, this is what I meant by the ladder. I really don't know how we messed it up so bad because it's really not that hard. We get them all in the same area and
goes
take
the
them out as
boss.
a group. Then after doing this with all the enemies, we arrived at Snow World and
Yep.
we're really in the end game now. But before we can get to our next bosses, we have to go through the snow world, defeating some more enemies. They've constructed ice towers to try to stop us, but honestly, they're kind of pathetic. We very easily make our way through everyone, just like normal, until we're in the ice castle. And there isn't as much fighting in here as there are traps. He's got ice cones, which can easily miss us, and this place where it switches between arrows and ice attacks. You're supposed to use sound to know which attack is coming. We're just not really good at that, but it doesn't matter. It's time to beat the boss. And the Ice King is way easier than he probably should be. All he does is teleport around and he ice attacks which barely hit him. I also love how
if I don't level up before you, this game's
his
dead.
entire career, but he learns very soon that he's no match for us, and it's time for some more money. This time, we're all going to share the cash, so we can all get potions to the next stage before rescuing the
Yes!
Brian gets his kids. Now, all that's left is to rescue the Harrison. And the path here is interesting.
No.
We see a bunch of villains who fly up into the air.
Dang
We
it!
do too. Not really sure when we got this ability, but whatever. We made it to their island. Time for them to die.
I don't want you
and
to have
after
a higher
that,
level
all that's really left is a boss rush. Our first boss is the Painter. He's an interesting boss because we've never seen him before. I'm pretty sure he was originally cut content, and they decided to put him in the end because why not? But it's a shame because it's a pretty neat concept. Though I guess the execution isn't the greatest, since we pretty much just pummel the boss to death with no challenge. We're playing with 4 people, so even if one person gets hit by a painting, everyone else is unaffected, so we finish the fight really quickly. Then our next boss is the Cyclops. Oh yeah, the Cyclops was revived after dying earlier. Sorry, forgot to mention it. But this time, he's so much weaker. He lost all his good moves, and literally all we need to do is straight on attack him. Then after a bit, he'll jump on his coffin and spawn him to attack. There's nothing we can really do in this section except wait, and then
Just
go back to
spam
Covenant once he jumps down. We ended up 2-cycling this boss, which is the best we've ever done, so world record was getting more and more likely. But before that, now it's time for the Necromancer.
Dang, bro, you live like this?
Yep, he really does live like this, because he uses all these dead bodies to attack us. Kinda morbid, and also kind of ineffective, because they suck. The unfortunate thing, though, is that Chris disconnected. Literally at the second to last boss of the game, Chris's internet had a hiccup, and he no longer gets to finish the run with us, so that's kind of funny. Still, at the end of the day, we had a job to do, and I wasn't restarting this speedrun, let's be honest. So
are we gonna play this all
all
day,
final
or-
boss of the game. This fight is divided into 6 different sections. First, it starts out with the crystal.
Okay,
You
let's
kinda
get
just
off.
stab him to death, nothing much to say. But then it gets interesting because we're actually fighting a person. In this phase, he switches between having a blue bubble, which only lets us use magic attacks, and a red bubble, which only lets us use physical ones. And since we haven't upgraded our magic at all the entire run, we just gotta hope he stays on red for a while. Once that phase is done, the wizard transforms into a balloon. Yeah, not too much to say about this one. And then we won. We got a treasure chest, and as soon as it opens up, we get a terrifying spider. And this, in my opinion, is the evil wizard's heart.